5 lights, and away we go. I think everybody got a decent start there.
That's an insane start from Koushik. Exactly what he would have wanted.
Oh, RB Ferraro, he just sneak onto the inside and he has to P2.
Salvage some points all the way down.
Eccentric sending down the inside on Oxygen, and Oxygen is coming back alongside. Putting his wheels, and he's side by side going around the outside. And I think he's got the move done. Yes, he has got the move. Oh, still there side by side. But he's got the inside line.
All right, a very good afternoon to everyone who's watching right now. We're back with IRC Season 9, Tier 2 F1 2022. Join with me in the combox. I'm there, there's Moto, and then join with me is Haphazard. Today we head to Australia, the land down under, for a very enthralling and exciting race upcoming in this deserted country. Haphazard, what are your thoughts? And welcome first. And what are your thoughts on what's going to happen today?
Thank you for that fantastic introduction, Moto. And yeah, I think my thoughts are new track, new version of Melbourne that we're going to finally race at. I wonder how our drivers are going to adapt to it. I think these new cars are a bit different to handle as well, so I'd love to see what happens today. Very excited.
Yeah. Absolutely, and we also had the Tier 21 race yesterday, which was also in Australia, but do note, a very different layout. This is a completely new layout with a lot of new reprofiled corners. We have this very long, straight Jeddah-like section in Sector 2 now, which is just mostly flat. So, yeah, car setup's going to be different. The drivers are going to have to react and drive differently, take different lines now. And tire wear will be sort of different because as well the layout is different. So a lot of new factors and plot lines acting at play in today's race. And also just in mind, before we get on to the Hotlap and track video, we do have no formation lap because of a current bug which the game is facing where the tires don't get up to temperature even after you do your formation lap. Only the host does. So formation lap will be off, which means everyone is going to start on the ice cold tires. So the start is going to be really exciting and hopefully very clean as well. But we're going to see how these drivers are going to take on this challenge of cold tires. But anyway, much dilly-dallying about, and I think we should get on with the track video and hot lap. Australia then, 5.278 kilometers long, 14 corners only now, and 3 DRS zones in this circuit. A lot of overtaking spots because of this new reprofiled track layout, and yeah, it's just a lovely track now, and we should head on to the hot lap.
Hello everyone, welcome on board a lap of Australia with a very own Tier 1 driver, Rystle. Now preparing the lap, you want to be on the left hand side for turn 1, brake just between the 150, use the inside curve to get nice rotation, slow and fast out for that corner now, get a good exit and keep the throttle up. Now for turn 3, you want to brake just as the barrier finishes on the left hand side, take a late apex. Through these sequence of corners, it's important to keep the momentum high as you're balancing the car with the brake and throttle slightly. This corner, it's a bit treacherous, so be very careful with the steering. Turn 6, you want to just do a flick to the right and then keep the momentum up through that corner. Now, if you were on the old game, you would be preparing for a braking zone, but now it's all flat, so you just keep the steering as minimal as possible and just keep the momentum up high. Preparing for the turn 9 and 10 chicane, brake just before the 50-meter board. Take a cut back line here, use all the curve possible and make sure you get a good exit because there's another DRS zone coming right up. Now, braking for turn 11, you would just want to brake just before the 50-meter board, take a late apex now, and you don't use the curve if your setup isn't very curve friendly. For this one, just flick the car in, keep the momentum up high. This one, if you want to avoid braking in the grass, it's very easy to do so. For here, you want to just balance the car with the throttle, get a good exit as you head on to finish the lap. And that's a great lap of this beautiful circuit.
Yeah, and we're back after that very rapid hot lap from Rystle, our very own Tier 1 driver, one of the fastest boys in IRC. And yeah, a lot of nice lines he was taking through there. Half-assed, what are your thoughts on this track? I haven't heard them from you yet, because a lot of people do seem to love the circuit. There's some people who just find it too treacherous. So what are your thoughts on it?
I think this is one of those tracks where you have to be on the limit at every single corner. You have to be at that limit where either you're taking that corner perfectly or you're going off the track and exceeding track limits. This track is, characteristic to that. So that's why I think most of us love it, because it's so close. The line between perfection and getting a penalty is so close. So I think that's the appealing factor of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to agree with you there. It is certainly a driver's circuit. And speaking of drivers, I think we should head on to the lobby and see how the drivers are faring in this upcoming qualifying session. And also have a look at the weather predictions. So if you could just move on to the lobby scene and can proceed from there. Yeah, just having a look at the names. Not a full grid today. Which is a bit underwhelming, but that still isn't going to take away from the action, because it is going to provide a lot of action, and that is just going to accentuate it, because you got a wet qualifying session for this qualifying, and it seems it's going to dry up towards the end, but a wet session in Australia. Let's have a look at how these Tier 2 drivers fare.
I think it would have been very interesting to see a full Q1, Q2, Q3 sequence of qualifying in such conditions. But regardless, seeing how it's going to go from wet to dry, I would love to see how these drivers push their cars on those intermediates on a dry setup. That would be very interesting. I think most of these drivers now, they'd love to keep their car under control and not spin out and crash and lose their entire quality.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and hopefully everyone's gone for a dry setup, because the race is entirely dry, and golden rule is you always set up for the race, because that's where the points are won. But now on board with the Merc driver of Abhi, who had a difficult time in Silverstone. I think he was struggling not only in the corners but also under braking and out of the corners as well. So we're going to see how he's going to fare in this one, because I'm pretty sure he's going to have practice a lot. And I think Australia is one of his favorite circuits too. So yeah, let's go on board and outlap with him. He's very nervy on the throttle. If you could just have the telemetry, Sai, that would be brilliant. So yeah, I forgot to mention completely, Sai is our streamer for today, and he's going to be handling all the camera work. So yeah, that's Sai on the stream. And watching the Merc carefully filter through Sector 2, that chicane where you're just carrying so much more speed now, because you don't have that braking zone Sector 2 anymore. It's just all flat out. So this outlap is not going to be all that important, because the tires, the inters and the wet tires in generally in F1 get up to temperature very quickly. So these drivers can just be a bit careful on the outlap. See, get a sense of the conditions, as Avi is already getting very nervous on the rear, and that's how I head on with this lap now.
As far as I've seen with these setups, I think most of the setups around Australia have been very downforce heavy on the front rather than the back. That's where we sort of tend to see the rear sort of lose grip at times, because the front is pushing so much. So maybe that's what's happening with Dhabi. But again, as you can see, he's taking corners carefully. He just doesn't want to push it too fast or too much. Again, the walls here are very close, so you want to be very careful. But yeah, you can see he's being very gentle with the throttle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's already invalidated into turn 1, which is turn 1 actually may not seem like it, but is actually one of the hardest corners on the circuit, because if you don't brake a bit earlier, you will understeer and you will either invalidate on the exit, or you just bleed a lot of time in your lap. So turn 1 is really crucial it can make or break your lap, which can be true for any circuit. Turn 1 is always important, but especially on this circuit, it's really a challenge with these cars. But now heading on with Montero, purple sector 2, very nervy on the throttle. You can see he's modulating it as best as he can. Out of the chicane, gets a decent exit. Can't quite tell what's a representative lap time now, as this is the first lap we're on board with. Into this new reprofiled turn 9, I think, taking a late apex, not using the curbing because it is going to be really slippery now. Bringing the car in through this right-hander, and for this really tricky mechanical braking zone, you want to brake a bit earlier, otherwise you will understeer like he did there. And then you are turning and throttling out at the same time, so the car gets very loose in the rear, as you can see right now. And heading on to the line, that's going to be a 1:30.4, not a bad lap for the Inter tires for the backup.
Definitely an amazing lap. But my question is, who's gonna risk it on the softs, or who's gonna risk it on the slicks?
That's a good point, actually. Considering the session will dry out, all these Inter laps may as well be useless. I think the drivers are actually just waiting out for the dry period. Who've had a look at the weather, maybe just trying to get a feel for these conditions in case our telemetry is not correct. But I highly doubt that's the case. So. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the drivers, what approach they take into this qualifying session.
Yeah, definitely. Is it, Moto, is there a chance that, let's say, if these drivers sort of keep running on the track with these Inter tires and, they're sort of creating a dry line, is there a chance, they can whip on slicks a bit early and still, make it through their lap because there's a dry line on track? Is that possible?
Maybe that could be a case. The weather does, now that you brought it on, the weather does behave a bit differently compared to the previous few titles in this new game. So what I've noticed from my running is that the track tends to stay wet for a lot longer now. So the standing water doesn't get removed very easily. So these drivers actually we might not even see a dry period, or we will see a dry period. We won't be seeing a completely dry rubbered in period because the track will just take that much longer to rubber in. But the track will still be drying, evidently, as Ritesh goes provisional pole with a 29.7 as face crack. The winner of the previous round has retired. Where is that?
Let's do the Ferrari, Shay.
If we go on board, I think.
Oh yeah, yikes! That's the worst part. Yeah, I can feel the pain. It's one of the worst corners that can catch you off guard, or catch you out. Where you can.
Which corner was it? Was it turn 1 or was it somewhere?
I think it's turn 4, right? Yeah, turn 3, turn 4.
Turn 3, turn 4. Two very mechanical sections of the track. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Face crack was the winner of the inaugural round, and also his first win in league racing on his debut. That too. Not a good start to this qualifying as he finds himself P last now, and that's
almost
another front wing donated to the wall.
Somehow Steve did.
Yeah, I think reverse like that.
I think Mamuka Abni would prefer to lose a front wing there rather than try it.
Okay, and he's just reversed into the barrier. Yes, that definitely does warrant a lap invalidation game. That is true.
Yeah. I mean, that lap was already destroyed anyways, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Anyways, heading on Sage, a lot of drivers without a front wing, finding it difficult to cope in these semi-wet conditions. Not a lot of grip on the track, and these drivers are slowly going to start building their pace up. And we ride on board with SWAT Cat in the Alpine. Yeah, go ahead.
What I'm afraid of is what I've been seeing recently with this game is that ghosting is not as quick as it used to be. So let's say if someone stuff, crashes out or, bumps is down, loses control of the car, there's a chance, another driver behind him to crash with him. That's what I'm seeing. Like, people are going so quick, so close to these drivers who spun out. We might as well, end up seeing something like a crash where two drivers just collide with each other on track.
Yeah, that is true. The ghosting is very inconsistent in this game. So a lot of drivers need to be wary about that as well. As we ride on board with the Alpine, bit off of P1, he's 1.8 seconds, I think, from what I remember of the Sector 2 split. But the track is going to continue evolving, and maybe this is just his back end. Just a sighter lap where he wants to feed the track conditions, and really build on from there as he gets very loose on the curving there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think every single driver will have a situation like that, but they've almost lost it because they're. Oh, and as we're speaking, Montero has a very bad middle sector, but he has a very fast middle first sector. So can we see him actually hitting pole or getting on front row?
Yes,
And
we
it's
can.
pole
At
for
5
Montero. Nice. That's a
Drastic
great
improvement.
move.
That's,
I wonder.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said I wonder how fast he would have been if he didn't mess up his middle sector. Yeah, that's an amazing lap.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be too bothered by that because I'm pretty sure these drivers do know how quickly the track is evolving because AJ's just gone within 2/10 of that lap. So, yeah, it's just going to keep getting faster. It's important these drivers, if we don't get a dry period, it's important these drivers just get out right now to get a feel for these conditions. I don't know how many times I've said that already, but yeah. Yeah, as we see Monk on his out lap, struggling for grip on the exit of that last corner. Which is again one of the most challenging corners of this track, barring turn 1, as Red Bull has found the barriers on the right there on the exit of that fast right hand in sector 3. So yeah, these drivers just trying to ramp up their times and get some consistency on the board. Not pushing that hard, but pushing in certain corners where they can extract that lap time in their next lap then.
Definitely. Is there anyone right now who's currently on an actual good lap? I don't think so. I think everyone is just struggling because they can see sort of a dry line forming up, but then the moment they start pushing, that's when they sort of lose control of the car. I think that's what that is exactly what's happening right now.
The secret to a qualifying session in the wet, at least what I feel, is you take a lot of fuel. You fuel up for like 4 or 5 laps, and you start out slowly. You barely push in the first one. Just put it on Hotlap mode. Just do a normal SaiTarun lap, and then you just build on from there. It's the best way to build confidence over the session as well, and I think that's what Montero did because he's done 4 laps on those inters, and yeah, that just goes to show that these veterans have the knowledge on how to tackle a qualifying session such as this.
Definitely, I think I can't disagree with you there. Looking at the way the track is sort of shifting now, it's all about experience on track. How much can you get? How quickly can you learn where to push, where not to push, where to back off? That's very important right now.
Yep.
And we see Shrey sort of slowing down. I wonder why. Is he retiring?
He was letting a car by. Yeah, he was letting the last by.
There's another Aston Martin right behind him, so if he's letting someone by, better let the Aston Martin by as well.
He's not having a good time. He's 4.7 seconds off the pace. Breaking the grass there slightly and trying to filter through this corner. Goes on the curving there, which is not recommended. Gets a semi-decent exit. Let's see where this puts him. P12 with four and a bit seconds off the pace. Yeah.
That's not. Is that Saja?
Yeah, I think that was Sager. As we have another one who's retired, Swagger Turbo Whitey. Where's he lost? I think that's. Do I see a beached Alfa Romeo? Yeah, that's turn 2 exit.
Turn 2 exit. Yeah, that's right. And I see a Ferrari as well. Why is the? I think that this is the Ferrari is going extremely slow.
Yeah. As we have another retirement, this time on the exit of the chicane, which is the other Alpha. So both the Alphas are not having a good day. But luckily Swagger did put in a decent enough lap for P5, though I think that is going to push, he's going to get pushed down the order quite a bit after the track does ramp up even more. So, but not good, not good for the other Alpha who couldn't even get a lap on board and finds himself at the rear end of the field.
I mean, for these drivers with DNF, even regardless of where they are right now, if there's at least a chance, these drivers can get one lap on those soft tires, one clean lap. Everyone knows who's only the bottom 5 will be because there's no chance these inters can, fight against those softs.
Yeah.
So this is.
Zavi finally sets a decent time, puts him up to P9. So yeah, slowly getting the confidence in this session, like a lot of other drivers, and it's only up from there. But yeah, do go on. You were saying something.
Ooh. Yeah, but I think the rain isn't stopping. Like, look at the track. The rain doesn't seem like it's gonna stop. So I think we're still gonna see an inter run at the end for the.
Well, if that's the case, then the last lap will be the most optimal one, because that's when there'll be the least amount of water on the track. So that's when everyone can push to the maximum. As Pirate has set purple sectors on his outlap. I don't know how that's possible. As Montero goes green in sector 1, a tenth and a bit up on his own time, steadily improving, and yeah, we should stay on board with this lap, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a drastic improvement from what he's already set.
Definitely. I wonder who's done the quickest first sector, because Montero's upped his time, but he's not the quickest in the first sector.
And he's not gone purple in sector 2 either, so he's just improving very minimally. But yeah, still, let's have a look at how much more time he finds in the most mechanical section of the circuit, which is sector 3, as he's heading on in this right-hander where you avoid both the curbs in the wet weather here. Don't brake on the grass for this one. Downshift to second, short shift to third, fourth, downshift to third again, and then short shift to fourth again, and he gets a decent, very squiggly exit rather. So I'm not sure if he's going to improve. Oh, never mind. He improves by 1. Well, that says 1.3 seconds, but I'm pretty sure that's a tenth he's improved by.
Where's AJ coming?
AJ improves by a lot.
Wow, that's pretty good time. Can we look at the other horse? I think the other horse was on a lap as well. Something happened to it.
A fanboy for AJ in the comments saying that he's a big fan of AJ, and well, your driver is doing very well. He's in P1 by a clear 3/10, a 3.5 tenths. So not a bad showing from the horse driver here. Very good lap.
How many minutes do we have left? Okay, so now is the time for everyone to be out on track. If you're not out right now, you're gonna lose out on your final lap.
So 8 is on that decent lap on 8 lap old Inter tires. I don't know how he's done that decent of a lap on old tires.
I
Honestly,
think we need to look at Pirate now, because he's really pushing at this lap. He's gone green sector 1. He's trying to keep his. Is that the racing line? I don't think so, but yeah, he's trying his best to keep his car under control. You can see how wildly he's pushing his car.
yeah. He's absolutely chucking that car everywhere. He's a bit down, getting the slipstream from the other half. Was that planned? Not sure if that was planned.
I don't think so.
But yeah, he's only. Okay, that's not an invalidation. Yeah, he's only half a tenth or less than half a tenth down on his teammate. So this is where it's going to count. Sector 3 is where you can lose or gain the most amount of time in your lap. Filtering through this last corner. Oh, I think he's got the line a bit incorrect there, as he gets a very bad exit coming out of this corner. Let's see where this puts him. The Reigns P4. Yeah, he lost a lot of time in sector 3.
Wow, I don't think that was planned. I think he wanted to give him the slipstream, but ended up just not moving quickly enough from racing and just got left.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
yours P6 with that lap. Maybe he's just starting his lap right now. Yes, he does. Gets a bit loose on the exit there, trying to chuck the car around into these corners. Heading on into turn 3, braking at the bit before the black box in the wet, maybe, I'm not sure. Swinging the car right, then left for this corner, not taking the curb on the outside, and this corner, which is semi-flat in the race, which is flat in dry, is a huge lift now. This one, he does that decently as well. And yeah, some last laps coming on board. Could we have a look at Montero? Because I think he's in prime position. Montero and Ritesh are in prime position to pip P1, but Montero is not improving. So could we head on board with Ritesh and see if he's improving on his time?
Yeah, but Montero gets one more lap, right? Montero is getting another lap out there.
Oh, I think he does, yeah.
Can we check how much ERS Montero has? Does he have enough to go for one?
Oh, he has plenty in the tank. Yeah, let's stay on board with the McLaren. as he's trailering into this corner. Beautifully the braking done beautifully there. Swinging the car left for this one. Let's see how much throttle he puts. Lifts off quite a bit, 80% lift there, but not a complete lift. Showing the confidence he has in the car. He's half a tenth down on his PB, but that's not going to falter him as he's going to just keep on pushing. And again, just to remind you, as he gets a bit loose at the exit there, just to remind you, the track is the most optimal right now, so there's only more time to find in this lap.
Definitely, he's currently up on his time by not much, but still he's in the green sector right now. But now he has to find somewhere around 2/10 in the final sector. That's not an easy call.
Oh, gets very loose in the exit.
That's it for him. I think that's the end for his hot lap.
Let's see.
Can he
still be a good lap? We never know. He has a decent exit to run through the last corner, which is so very important.
Did
not improve.
Okay, still a good try from all three of our at least from the first two rows at least. I think we saw a pretty good lap from Ritesh in the end as well, trying to get one up on Montero.
Two drivers have a 5-second grid, 5 place grid penalty, I think. Yeah, Abhi and Shrey. I don't know what's going on between those two guys. But AJ set that lap on 8 lap old inters. So if he had fresher tires, he could have gone much faster, I think. So I'm not sure why he risked setting his fastest on 8 lap old inters. Still a great lap from the Haas driver. And Ritesh up there with him, just less than 2/10 off. The Montero, the McLaren P3, Pirate and the Haas in P4, with the Haas having a good qualifying. Existence P5, P6 is Swagger, and we should have a look at the rest of the grid in the starting of the race, as we do also have formation lap off, so we have to be quick with it. So what are your thoughts on that qualifying?
I think it was a fairly decent qualifying. It did had us on our toes throughout it, but I think in the end it just because AJ was so far ahead, I don't think anyone could challenge him, and so it lost a bit of that excitement at the very end. But I think still a very decent qualifying, and now when we get to the race, it's going to be even more interesting.
Oh, absolutely. With the added factor of cold tires on lap 1, that's just going to make the racing more chaotic and more exciting for us viewers out there. So just 13 seconds, it's odd actually. I think someone might have readied up a bit early. Could be a penalty coming someone's way, but just 5 seconds left for the restart. No formation lap again, just to remind the viewers out there. And half has to take it away for the 5 lights.
All right, so of course, no formation lap. We are waiting for the 5 lights to start this Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. And it just looks like AJ had a good start, but Ritesh is trying to attack him on the inside. He's very close, but again, AJ just moves up a bit too easily there, just getting a very, very decent start.
Going very wide on the exit there. Everyone keeping it clean, no incidents so far. Could we have a look at the positions gained and lost? If that's possible, RB20 having a great start, 5 positions up, but up in the order, pecking order, not much has changed. Everyone's gained 1 or 2 positions.
Just look at Montero.
Montero's had a terrible start. He's got damage. I think he had damage on his right hand plate. But AJ has pulled away a second already. And could we have a look at the tires now? Because I think most of these guys are on soft tires, which is very odd considering how quickly these softs will die out. As Pirate goes up to P2, I think Ritesh might have made a mistake on the medium tires there. But AJ on those softs is just going to be pulling away now. And already 1.6 seconds ahead, 1.7 now.
And again, relatively AJ does have Pirate right in the middle. Trying to defend, at least trying to keep Ritesh at bay for the time being. So that's good for AJ as he can. We almost saw Duke lose it.
Yeah. That's not good for him. He's on the soft tires as well. He needs to make this count as much as he can, because those tires are going to die out in a few laps or so. As we have an AlphaTauri, a face crack, who's going into the pits. Oh no, that's very unfortunate. Our race 1 winner not having the best of luck, best of races so far, as he finds himself in P last after just the opening lap.
Well, the race isn't over yet. There could be a safety car. We have a sector 1. I think that's just for the pit lane, I guess.
That's Swagger YT who's gone off there.
Does he have damage?
I don't think he got damaged, but yeah, I do think he lost the car slightly. So a bit loose in the rear. Maybe the tires aren't up to temperature, and he pushed a bit too hard on them. But further behind, let's have a look at the gaps. I think Abhi is very close to Monk. He's got the race pace advantage, I think. There's a Merc driving on this McLaren ahead.
Yeah, but he's lost a lot of that pace coming out of the turn 10 and turn 9 and turn 10.
Oh, who's that? That's Swagger, who's lost the car again into the chicane.
Again, turn 10 just gets turn 9 just gets the best of you.
Puts it in reverse. Okay. And 2-point turn? 3-point turn? Regulation turn? Which one?
Yeah, just whatever turn gets him to first.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate for the Alpha. But now heading on board with
look at Freeze.
Yeah, Shrey has closed up a lot. Swagger's lost it again. Maybe he doesn't know the tires haven't cooled down yet. The tires do heat up, and when they do heat up, you have no grip. So you just need to drive around for very slowly as you have a half retired. And that's a safety car. That has to be a safety car, because the game won't tell us, but it is a safety car. I can assure you that.
Yeah, this is a safety car. Like, look at the cars running.
Or maybe a VSC as well, because I can't see the dot of the safety car. But where's he lost it? Is that out of the right-hander? Sector 1? Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I think so. No, I think it's. Oh yeah, it is. It is sector 1.
Oh, wow. And Swagger goes off again. He's piling into the pits. Maybe he's had enough of these tires. Doesn't think they're very good, as he just can't keep the car in control. Goes into the pit lane. Hopefully hasn't sped into there. But yeah, now Existence finds himself in P3. Very good outcome for Existence here. He's kept it clean. He's kept his nose clean. And yeah, just a wise drive by the Merc driver there. And Duke finds himself in P4 with soft tires, as he gets a drive-through penalty for speeding on the VSC.
Yeah, okay, so this is not going to help our...
Realization's got one as well, I think. Was that a 3 seconds he's got? Well, that is a 5 second got as well.
Look at that exit that the Mercedes had. It's going on the outside.
Oh yeah, we are in green flag. Yep.
And he goes for a move on the outside and turn 3. Oh,
yes,
that's one.
Sticks that move. That's a beautiful move from the Merc driver there.
Amazing.
Yeah, beautiful move. And he finds himself in P2, and probably the best bet to win the race, because again, those softs, 3 more laps and they are going to have no pace whatsoever.
Definitely, I think AJ is hoping for something else maybe to come around at the end of this race. But yeah, again, let's just hope AJ has thought of this. And
it's Freeze, who's momentarily lost control of his car there as well. But now heading on board back to Ritesh, he's very close to Existence. Maybe he does have the pace advantage on him. So we're going to have to stick on board with him. Takes a very narrow line through there, gets clattered by the curb, and because of that he's lost a lot of time on the exit there. A lot of battles going on. Montero also very close to SWAT Cat. Montero again, a driver who's on the top as Ritesh
and Ritesh goes in the pits?
Maybe he's going to serve his 5 seconds, I think.
Oh yes, I think he did. Yeah.
Could we go on with Montero? He's sticking it very close behind the Alpine driver. A Montero driver who's very quick has found himself in P10, and this could certainly be a formula for more overtakes to come. A catalyst for more moves and more exciting racing to come, as Montero is going to push his way through the field now.
And now Ritesh has dropped back to P8 because of his drive-through penalty, and now he's just going to try to help his Alpine as much as he can. But as the Alpine does not have the RS, Montero is going to go for a move on the outside again. He's going to do...
he gets it just before the yellow flag. Wow. What a move. Talk about timing there.
Yeah, I think SWAT should have defended that. a
As
bit more.
Swagger Turbo Whitey has lost his wing. Yep.
Oh, wow,
The hard
that's
tie is
not-
not faring very well for the Alpha driver there, as he's understeering on the straight as well. Yeah. Heading on board, back to the action. Abhi in P6 again finds himself close to the McLaren driver. It's interesting. One McLaren driver is doing all the attacking, the other one have to defend behind because Abhi, who tends to have way more race pace than qualifying pace, has found his fettle here with metal here. Sorry, with the McLaren driver in front of him, as he's got the pace advantage.
Yeah, I think Abhi probably is playing the game where he's just keeping, trying to sort of find a way, trying to find a weakness within Monk's driving style, sort of try to see if he can get the keep the pressure up and sort of Monk sort of make a mistake in that pressure. So probably trying to do his best to stay close to Monk at this stage. And we see someone sitting right now. Is that Duke, if I'm not wrong? He's going on to. Okay, he's going on to the mediums or the hards maybe. I think it's time to go on to the hards. Don't you agree, Moto?
For the soft runners, maybe, yeah, you're right, you're definitely right. Soft tires have probably fallen off the cliff. If you could just go on board for AJ for a second, see how much wear he's got, if he's got his telemetry set up. Yeah, you can see those soft tires are very toasted, and he's going to certainly start bleeding time, but he seems to be pulling away on this set of tires. I don't know what magic he's worked in them, but the tires are working very well for the Haas driver.
Yeah, I think even if he sort of goes on to the hards, the hards is pretty bad for the first few laps, and then they.
Oh, as Monk and AJ, Abhi are having a battle, I think. If you could just go on board very quickly. Oh, I think Abhi might have lost his car or had a collision with Monk. We might have missed that. Sorry, folks. But now he's found himself having to defend from the Alpine behind him.
Definitely. I think Ritesh is now getting ready for a move. He's got TRS now. It's going to be easy sailings for him to get close to a beat, but not good for a move right now. It's going to be a hard move to.
Oh, never mind. He's gone for it right now. Abhi does leave the space.
We almost lost it. That's why you don't tend to go for a move on.
That's on the Alpine there. Abhi left him enough of space there.
Montero gets 2 positions there.
Montero just slips on by. That's beautiful to look at.
Oh wow, Abhi lost a lot out of that collision, I think.
But that was completely on the Alpine. Abhi left him ample amount of space, and still the Alpine couldn't quite slow the car down quick enough and had contact with the Merc driver in front of him. But Ritesh does have very good race pace now, and he's right on the back of Montero, which is great to see. He hasn't lost any confidence here. He hasn't let that dissuade him because he is got his eyes set on the rear diffuser of this McLaren right now.
Definitely, I think more than
we have another yellow flag. That's Swagger Turbo, who's DNF'd. Unfortunately, out of the race, wasn't having a very good one, and now he's just lost his car and DNF'd. So, not a good debut race from the Alpha driver there, and he's going to have a look at what he needs to change, and he's going to come back much stronger next one. So
I think
do look forward to that.
I think he must have taken too much of a curve at turn 5 and sort of lost the car there, because the walls are pretty close there. So if you mess up on the curves at turn 5, you're just gonna lose your rear end. And
we have VSC. That's a safety car. I can see the safety car waiting for the leader there. So yeah, we do have a safety car. Things to cool down, and a perfect window for AJ to box from the soft to the hards.
This is the call right now for AJ. I mean, I think
almost everyone to box the hards. As Monk and Montero do follow suit, and both of them are pit. I think Monk might have got held up, or maybe it was Montero, because he's come out behind his teammate there, and he's got a car in between as well. So that's face crack, and I'm pretty sure he has to make a pit stop as well. As Monk on these pit for soft tires, that's interesting. Wonder why he's going for the soft tire right now. Maybe he fancies a charge up the field in this on the safety car restart, where everyone's going to have cold tires.
Or maybe he's hoping for another safety car coming at the end of the race. But yeah, looking at the safety car, it's not a good it's not a good outcome for these medium tire driver, medium tire.
Oh, he's hitting
runners.
it very careful in the pit lane entry there.
Yeah, well, he has 7 seconds of a gap. He doesn't want to waste it by getting a 5-second penalty.
That is true, yes. So he
And of
can
course the
still afford to
hardcore-
waste it because he's got a 7-second buffer.
And yeah, everyone's coming in for the hearts because it would be brainless to stay out on those mediums anymore. Yeah, I think this is work better for an AJ, but then again, as I say it, everyone's going to be close to each other. That 7-second gap is going to vanish completely, and yeah, it's going to be like a reset for most of these drivers now. So do you agree with that, Moto?
What?
I said that this is just gonna act like as a reset because that 7-second gap is gonna reduce to nothing, and everyone's gonna be on those hard tires except for Ritesh. I don't know why Ritesh is still on those mediums. Yeah, that's not the right decision, buddy. But again, Ritesh, IRC, LP, and Swat is still out there, so maybe they're hoping for another safety car later in the race. So. But then again, how long are these mediums going to run out for? Will they be able to run maybe? Well, I think because of the safety car, they might extend their stint by 2 or 3 laps. But then, can they stretch it far enough to get some stops on at the end? That's going to be the big question here.
Yep.
And let's see. I think Maverick. I haven't seen Maverick in the front 5, so I think he's probably one of the few drivers that gained a bit from the safety car because I didn't see Maverick in the top 4. Or maybe
could be, yeah. Face Crack also back in the top 10, and we know he's got a lot of race space because he is the winner of the first race, and he has a lot of race space and a lot of racecraft as well. So we could see a late charge from the AlphaTauri of Face Crack and also now Maverick Loki, who's found himself in P4. Could we have a look at the positions gained and see how much further up he's ended up, as Haphazard was saying?
Yeah, I think definitely for these hard tire runners, the first thing they want to do is get as much as temperature as they can into these tires, so that they are not, they're not sitting ducks at the race restart, because that Alfa Romeo of Mamka Admi, he's definitely going to hunt them down as fast as he can, and those soft tires will show their true pace within a half a lap. So that's when these hard tires would be the most vulnerable.
Absolutely. But the restart in itself, where everyone's struggling for grip and temperatures, is where the medium and the soft runners will come in a clutch and grasp at an opportunity, as there's some erratic driving going on in front. I think that caused Maverick Loki to react to what's happening in front, and almost taking a wing off of Abi there. But good reaction from the Merc car, braking just in time to avoid any collision there. Someone's lost. Oh, Maverick Loki's lost his car on the safety car.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a commentator's curse if I've ever seen one.
Yikes, yeah. He just ends up bumping his rear.
Oh no. Oh, yikes, that's the game. Doing the game thing and dishing out 5 seconds for absolutely no reason, because Maverick Loki had lost his car and the game's like, no, you need to slow down and wait for him. A person who lost his car without a front wing to catch back up. So
because the stewards can remove that 5 seconds and later on. So
we do have stewards there for all these glitches. So these drivers they don't need to focus and don't get faulted by that. There's some erratic driving going on in the front, causing everyone to slow down. AJ is holding up the pack here. Does he boot the throttle now? He does. But Existence has reacted very well, and he's pushed on as well. He's using all his ERS. There's a train forming here. There are 3 cars sticking very close to each other. Let's see how the braking's going to go into turn 1. AJ goes very wide on the exit there because the tires aren't up to temperature. Existence putting ERS still on, doesn't quite have the straight line to get the move done yet. But AJ getting caught out with the cold tires there. and not quite having enough grip to make the braking zone in turn 1. But maybe his setup, he's worked wonders on his setup because he had a huge straight line advantage there, even with the slipstream and ERS from existence. So yeah, good job on his setup, I guess.
I think Ritesh has to turn it up right now. He's on those used mediums right now, and if he has any chance of overtaking these hot tire compound drivers, he's gonna.
It's right now. It's right now. Yep.
And then stay within the DRS of AJ if he can. That's the best thing he can do right now with his strategy. And yeah, like I'm saying, Ritesh is doing a good job of keeping himself within DRS range, but then he's unable to catch these hard tire drivers because again the tag on his look at the tag on his mediums. They're almost gone, and I don't think this is the right strategy for those medium runners. I think they should have moved on to those hards at the safety car.
Yellow flag in sector 3. Use that.
It looks like Red Bull.
That's a Red Bull of Duke who's lost his car and
11, turn 11, I guess. Lost a wing as well.
Is it a wing? Yep, it's gone. Yeah, Australia not proving very driver friendly right now. A lot of incidents and just push on from here. Abhi, did he make a pit stop? How's he wound up in P13?
I think Abhi.
Can we have a look at the tires now, Sai? If we just go on, maybe he didn't make a pit stop, but why would he do that after?
Oh my, no, Abhi, that was not the right decision there.
Oh, I think he has made a pit stop after the safety cars come in, because he's only on 1 lap old hards now. That's a very confusing decision by the Merc driver there. A very Ferrari-esque decision there. But Ritesh, again, his medium tires are toasted after just 11 laps on them. That's kind of confusing as to how they're so toasted after just 11 laps. But yeah, maybe his tires are running out and he can't quite overcome the tire temp advantage he has with the mediums right now because his tires are just falling off the cliff. And as you can see, he's just dropping back slowly. But existence has dropped back 1.3 from AJ. So AJ really, once he gets his tires in the window, he knows how to push, and he's pushing like an animal right now.
Oh, look at the ERS that YT has right now. Existence, he's got nothing left.
That's not a good decision for him there, using all his ERS up. He's going to be sitting duck at the latter stages of the race because ERS does not regenerate very quick on this game.
Yeah.
Unless there's another safety car, that's a different question. But yeah, not a good decision by existence there.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at AJ for a while. How much ERS does AJ have? I mean, look at that. AJ with using half of his ERS is like 1.7 ahead of existence. He's completely dominating this race at the front right now.
When we go on with Sager, he finds himself very close to SWAT Cat in front.
Those
I think he's going to get the move done because DRS is enabled now. It's the third lap of the safety cars coming, so DRS is enabled, folks, and we're going to have to see if Sager can get a move done here. He's losing a bit of time and he's not using as much ERS as the car in front of him. Taking a slow and fast out here. The exit is so very important. Does he nail it? Yes, he does. He gets a beautiful exit. He's on the ERS, but I think he's a bit too far back for a move. Yeah, he is. But yeah, he got the exit completely right there, and we're just going to have to wait for one more lap longer.
I think he's not going to go for a reckless move because he knows that those mediums are dying at this stage. He can see it right now in front of him happening as he's driving right now with those hearts. Those tires are gone. They're not.
Look at the grip he has. Even in dirty air, he just gets such a better exit. Yellow flag, so he's to back out last second in sector 3. That's face crack, who's lost his car there out of the last corner. Oof. That's very unfortunate for the AlphaTauri driver.
For the time being, that yellow.
Sager and SWAT Cat are going side by side. Sager left enough space there, but SWAT Cat still tried to hang in there, and we had some contact that allows Monk to slip on by as well. Does that allow Montero to slip on by as well? And freeze as well. 3 cars get on by there.
Wow, that was not the right decision for SWAT to fight there at that corner. He lost so many positions because of that. Because of that contact with Sager. Yikes, that's not good. This is what's happening with those medium tires. I can't understand how Ritesh is still keeping himself close to existence at this stage. How is that possible?
I have no clue. Maybe it's the fact that he's preserved his ERS quite well and existence is all out, so he has got no top end on the speed as Ritesh breaks on the grass there, losing a bit of time. But lovely to see both the McLarens just sticking together. Will team orders come into play, or will Montero have to fight for this move? If we could just go on board with the McLaren driver there, as Freeze is also sticking very close behind. It's a 4-car train as Monk, Montero, Freeze and Shrey are all within the second of the car in front of them. And this is going to be a lovely battle to watch.
Yeah, I think the only way I see Ritesh's plan work is if the hard tires drop a lot in the end. It's the only way Ritesh will be able to sort of go for
Yes, that is true. He's a massive buffer, but he's still going to come out in traffic, even after if he makes a pit stop, because the pit delta is around 20 seconds. Yeah.
Penalties are coming out. Freeze gets another 3 seconds. Can we actually take a look at penalties? How much people have gained over the last few laps?
Not a lot of penalties for a track like Australia for these drivers. So these drivers are keeping it very clean here, but still finding it very, very treacherous to drive on. As Ritesh is still surprised. Look at those tires, dude. That's a new shade of orange in the telemetry. I've never seen that shade of orange before.
Yeah, I think Ritesh has done a marvelous job. And he goes wide.
I don't think he picked up a warning there because he did lose time. As Montero's made the move on his teammate there. Maybe that was a swap, or maybe that was a planned overtake. We do not know, but it's Montero who's on the charge.
I think the McLarens are very close on pace right now. I mean, look at them. I mean, right now their main challenge here is Freeze right behind. He's keeping himself so close to Monk, but if Monk can keep himself within the RSM, so he's pointed on Monk unless he looks a bit distant.
Absolutely. Okay, I think the stream quality on our end is got a bit bad, so I can't quite tell the gaps, but I can tell you that Monk is still sticking within the RSM Montero. And Montero, who has a pace advantage on the Red Bull in front, is going to be slowly reeling in that Red Bull.
Surprisingly, we have 4 cars currently fighting. Look at Shrey. Shrey just went for a move on Freeze right now.
We have a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2. I don't know what's happened there. Zoom racing
happening.
Yeah. Can't quite tell what's going on right now.
Did Frey spin? Wasn't he behind Monk and now he's 6 seconds behind Shrey? I think Frey's just spun. I think following. Yeah, maybe Free. And yeah, that could be a plausible outcome. But heading on back, we can see. I think the gap's 1.1, half as a Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, 1.2. I just had a look at the YouTube stream. So yeah, he's already within DRS of the Red Bull in front. That's the pace advantage he has in the car ahead. Could we go back to the tires, Sai, and have a look at if there's any tired?
Locations just pitted. What is it going on to? Most likely it's going to go on to hard.
Has to go to mediums, I'd say. Goes to hard.
No, he was on mediums right at the start of the race.
So that has to. That's not worked out very well because now he's going to have ice cold tires and he's going to be miles of the pace for the first few laps. So I'm not sure what he's going to do to combat this. Maybe the tire advantage will come into play later on in the race with the hard tires. Half dead as Duke is there unlapping himself and
Duke died?
Duke also losing his car there and he's DNF'd out of that and that's a safety car again. Wow.
Oh my god, this is not the best time. Ritesh just screwed up. If
he could have just waited for one more lap.
That's just unlucky for Ritesh.
Now, obviously, everyone's gonna have to go into the medium tires. It's a no-brainer. I mean, not everyone, maybe, but those who can will.
I think AJ still has.
He just decided to pull the trigger.
Yeah, he still has.
His existence for a suit. Existence has stayed out. That is very interesting. Yeah, a lot of drivers are not opting to pit. Maybe they prefer track position, which I do agree. Track position is king in Australia, especially with how hard it is to fall.
sorry to disturb you, Moto, but I think only the soft runners the ones who started with the soft
Well, I'd hate to interrupt you again, but more importantly, Existence has been disqualified for ignoring yellow flags.
God. Oh.
Oh no.
It's turning from, oh my god, how are the McLarens P1 and P2, P3?
Oh boy. The McLarens are back on the podium, that's great to see, but not good for Existence, who's found himself disqualified from the race because of ignoring yellow flags. I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
Yes, it's the first time for everything.
So Moto, I'll tell you why these guys haven't gone on to those mediums. So essentially, everyone who started on their mediums has used their one set of mediums, so they don't have any, new
Oh, you don't get an extra set in the race?
Yeah, you don't know. You just get one set and that's it. So
that's a bummer, really.
Abhi, who started on those softs, went to hards, now has a fresh set of mediums left with him right now. That's why he's gone on to those medium tires. That's why he's the only one right now who can easily catch up to these guys. That's an easy win for Abhi here. Essentially, if Abhi doesn't crash, he's going to win this race. Moto, are you there?
Oh, it seems Existence had accidentally overtaken the safety car.
Oh, wow.
Into turn 1.
I don't blame him. I've made that mistake before as well, so I don't blame him.
Okay, maybe it's not that uncommon, but that is really unfortunate. A really unfortunate error from the Merc family.
It is uncommon in a league race than to not do that in a league race. You do that in 35% casual races. Not in the league race, but yeah. Unfortunate for Existence, but I think it's not worked out for the Mercedes boys here because they had really good pace at the first half of the race and they just throttled down because of some incident or something. It hasn't worked best.
But what is on the plot? What some plot lines which are forming right now? Let's have a look at those, shall we? SWAT Cat, a brave one who's opted for the soft tires. He thinks he can take those till the end. I'm not quite sure about that. Another plot line, AJ, who's pitted for fresh mediums. He's going to make a charge up the field, so make sure we keep an eye on him because he's going to absolutely decimate the drivers in front with the grip advantage he's going to have. I'm just getting confirmation. Yeah, that Existence did overtake the safety car. That is why he had been disqualified from the session. So that is not a glitch, folks. That's a rookie driver error he's made there. Another plot line is that Ritesh, who's found himself on brand new hard tires, albeit on the hards, he won't have the grip, but he will have the tire advantage by the end. So how do you see these plot lines all playing out haphazard? What are your predictions of what's left in this race right now?
I think AJ is gonna have P1 here. Sajim and Monterio, they've got an easy job of maintaining those hearts because those hearts are still good. It's just that they won't be, they won't have the temperature at the safety car restart. That's why AJ is gonna jump up on everyone. And then Sager and Montero is they're gonna be able to keep up sort of pace with each other and sort of make it to the end. I don't think anyone else could challenge them. SWAT Cat is on those softs, but again, those softs will die so quickly.
It was spitting out.
Montero, Stacia just loses everything. Montero
to the front of the grid. Asia's already made a move on the Ferrari driver in front of him. The medium tires already coming up to clutch. Let's have a look if these McLarens are going to defend as a team against the very pacey Haas driver who's gone for a move already around the outside. Does he have the grip? He's going to try. He backs out of the move sensibly there, but you can see the grip advantage the Haas driver has on the cars in front of him. Monk is going to do his best to defend like a lion and make sure Montero pulls away enough.
Yeah, look at Monk. He's just making a gap right now. He's trying to slow him down as much as he can, but he's got so much grip. Look at him. He's making that move on the outside. You rarely see that, but those hard tires are not within temperature right now.
And that's the move already done for the Haas driver. It's no competition really, not really a plot line. It was a set outcome. AJ really having not to do much, put in much effort into these moves. He just has that much grip. That's a penalty coming his way. That is an outrageous dive bomb from the Haas there. That's a 10-second penalty in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the Haas forgot to brake right there. That's what happened there. That wasn't even a lunge. He was right behind him and he forgot to brake.
Yeah.
That,
what could have been a great showing from the Haas has turned into a bit of an incident to quote Charles there. But now on to the actual battle. Shrey has found himself back in P2 and he's got the pace advantage on Monk. As Mahmoud Karmi gets another time penalty, but now Ritesh has found himself in P3 and he's on 8 laps fresher hard tires, so he's going to have a huge pace advantage come the end of the race. So let's have a look at how he manages to hold this race out.
Can I just say how many times P1, the position for P1 has changed in this race? It's changed a few times right now. We've had Upbeat, then we had Asia, and now we have Monk, and we might see Ritesh going for it soon. So yeah, definitely something exciting sort of popped up after that safety car restart. Wow, but yeah, you can see
the chances Ritesh for podium. I'll do him one better. I'll say Ritesh will win. He's got the pace and the tires to win this race now.
But then AJ is still right behind, and he's not too far back off the.
I do think AJ's got a damaged wing, so that's going to hold his charge back a bit after that reckless dive bomb he did try to make. But you can see the strain of cars. A great shot as the helicopter goes over this part of the circuit. Monk already moving out to prevent any slipstream from the drivers behind. But Freeze is just 2 tenths behind. Ritesh is 1 tenth behind. Almost goes for a move. That allows Freeze to try and attack as well. Meanwhile, AJ is just grabbing onto his popcorn in the back and just watching all this action unfold. There's too much going on right now.
Everyone's just looking for an opportune moment right now. Everyone's waiting for someone to drop the ball. Oh, and Freeze goes out. He gets a 3-second penalty.
No.
So that's not good.
Ritesh goes very wide as well. Is he going to catch Ritesh off guard there? Backs out last second there. Oof.
I think Ritesh did a good job defending there. There was no chance for Freeze to go for a move that would have been too risky. But he's getting a better exit. Look at that exit.
Bit of wheel banging going on there between these two drivers.
Wow.
Heart and mouth. Ritesh mounting that curb. He's absolutely pushing the car as to what it can do, because that curb is not one to be filled with too much, because it can really unsettle your car. But yeah, all this battling and defending has had him move out of the DRS, but I think he will get the DRS back in this section because the tire advantage will play a part. Yep, he's 8 tenths behind now.
Wow. From having everything to being stuck in P5, this is not turned out easy right now. And opportunistically, Monk is just up there doing his best to defend against Shrey now, who's competing for a win, something we haven't seen for a while now. Yes, for ITS now. Come on, but yeah, again, Shrey is doing his best. He's got relatively close enough, worn off tires to Monk, and is maintaining his ERS. I think he's probably planning to go for a move probably within the next lap of this race, as every single key opportune overtaking spot has been taken over or has been left behind at this stage. I think the DRS being created by Monk. Can we just take a look at the ERS level of Monk for a second? Yeah, Monk is using a lot of ERS at this stage. He's got 30% and Shrey behind. Oh, getting close to a warning there, but yeah, Shrey behind has a lot more left. Oh, and we have a Sector 3 yellow flag in Sector 3. Is that Freeze? I think that is Freeze.
Oh, the Red Bull, the Ferrari and the Alpine were getting very touchy with each other there, as Freeze has lost another position too. Is that a lap car? I think that might be a lap car. I'm not sure. Why is he ghosted? I think he might be disconnected from the session. Yeah.
Probably a rage quit after that safety car restart. Maybe.
Yeah. Oof. Lot of incidents in this race. The students are going to have a good time as AJ again going for a reckless dive bomb. He cannot keep it within the constraints of clean racing today. From what we can see, he's going for a move absolutely everywhere. But I don't blame him with the tire advantage he has. I would do the same as well. He's
right as well.
Yeah, he's right as well.
He has damage. He has damage. That's why he can't really brake properly or sort of, keep the car in control because he's losing so much downforce.
Yeah.
And look
just
at
going
that.
wide everywhere there. Yeah.
He's done a lot of damage here. The only advantage he has right now is that tire advantage. But again, when you don't have
I
downforce,
tell you what, Monk is winning this race. It's not, that's already said and done because he's not got a penalty as of yet. Let's hope I don't jinx him. There's
Monk
Shay gets a
is-
bit loose on the curb. A great race from this from the Ferrari driver so far, keeping Monk honest. And Monk is a veteran of this game as well. So great showing from the Ferrari driver here.
Yes, but Monk, as we spoken before, he doesn't have enough ERS, and Shrey has been saving his ERS right now. So what Shrey is doing right now is he's pressuring Monk to just use all of his ERS, and then once he doesn't have any left, or once he sees that red light sparkle from the rear diffuser of Monk, and he's losing some speed right now. Yeah, and that's when he's going to go for a move when he has that ERS advantage.
Yellow flag in sector 3. Is that an Aston? So that's an Aston, look. So that is
I
Maverick.
think that's Maverick.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on there? I saw Montero making the move making the move in the ghost car. Montero still hasn't given up. Mind you, he doesn't have a penalty either. So he's going to get a lot of positions from just having to keep it on track without a penalty. So not the end of the world for him. Yeah, do go on.
I think he's gonna get at least P5 if he sort of keeps it up. If he keeps this pace up, he's gonna, because everyone ahead of him.
You know what would be instant karma if he'd finish ahead of AJ even after that.
Shrey gets a penalty. That's over for Shrey. Monk is easily, I think.
I think Shrey already had that penalty. I think it was AJ who picked up another one. Yeah.
I thought Shrey didn't have one, but okay. So again, this is good news for Monk because this is definitely prime time for Monk to win. And who would have thought that Monk would win this race after all that? But yeah, definitely a good race from Monk, at least up to this stage.
Yeah.
But Shrey is just so close. I wonder how quick he can go once he doesn't have the dirty of Monk left. He's got a lot
or
of
if he had a bit fresher tires as well. To be fair, Monk is also on equally worn tires, and what's confusing to me is how Ritesh isn't finding enough pace to get these guys, because he's on 8 lap fresher tires compared to the drivers in front. As the Ferrari gets a bit loose on the exit, is Ritesh going to sniff at this opportunity? No, he doesn't. He's sensible. He's patient about it. Takes a wider line, trying to get a good exit, trying to get a good momentum through this section here. And he's going to hang back for a few more laps as AJ is getting more and more warnings as he's running out of patience because of the damage compounding to that as well. And he's just bleeding more and more time to the drivers in front.
Yeah, I think he ran out of downforce at the safety car restart, and now he's running out of patience. Yeah, but Ritesh, I think the only issue for Ritesh for not going for a move right now is with that DRS that Shrey has because of Monk. That's the only thing stopping Ritesh from going for a move right now, and that's the only thing stopping Ritesh from going for a move on Monk as well, because again, once he gets clear,
here goes Shrey around the outside. Monk tries to brake late, carrying more speed over the corner, pushes him out to the curbing. Good defense there from Monk.
Definitely good defense, but
aggressive but fair.
Now he's just slipping towards the rear diffuser of Ritesh right now. He's back in the fight somehow. I wonder if AJ is actually going to be able to pull off anything, but he's got 12 seconds. He's fairly can pull off anything now. Next, this is not telling. I think it would have been better for AJ just to pit and get his wing changed or something.
Oh, what is that? That's AJ trying to get a move done, but he doesn't have the downforce. And he can't quite handle the fact that he doesn't have downforce. But speaking of downforce, here's Ritesh with some extra downforce going for a move around the outside of the Ferrari driver.
Can Ritesh overtake Monk and then build a 3-second gap within 2 laps? That's a big
I think it's a bit too much to ask for, if I'll be honest with you there. But it's a great move there from Ritesh to get P2. So yeah, I'm glad to see him on the charge, and it's good to see him on the podium as well.
Well, then let me ask one other question then, Moto. Can Monk keep his race penalty free? That's the big question right now, because if Monk gets one penalty...
That is the only question right now. I agree with you there. It all depends if Monk can't keep his race clean till the end of all the 29 laps, because if he gets a 3-second, then it's basically a battle on track for these two drivers here.
I think we've seen a lot of overtakes on the outside of turn 2.
Oh, is Upbeat Montero going side by side? For a second there, I saw them. Oh, that's Upbeat going off. He's crashed. And Montero's also not fared very well from that. Both of them without their wings. Oh no.
This is going from bad to worse for Montero. Wow.
That is unfortunate.
Oh, and who's this freeze going for move in Swatka?
Yeah, those soft tires are dying right now. But here's Ritesh going for a move around the outside of the McLaren. The McLaren tabs in the rear.
McLaren can, the Ferrari's going for a move on the McLaren as well. He tried to find a gap there, but and now he's getting some pressure from Upbeat. He pushes him outside, but Upbeat keeps it outside. Upbeat doesn't have enough downforce to keep that car.
Oh no. Yeah, that was an outrageous move by Ritesh, and Monk tagged him there, which caused him to lose momentum and almost lose a position in turn to the Ferrari.
Now Monk doesn't have the RS and Shrey will have the RS, so this is going to be an easy overtake for Shrey right here. With all the RS he has left, he's going to go for a move right now. Outside, inside, outside, he chooses the outside. Monk covers the inside and he's got an easy overtake done.
Around the outside, that's a beautiful move as Monk gets very loose in the exit there. Loses another position to AJ there.
Ritesh wins this? Is that enough?
He has a second. He has to pull out of 1.5 seconds more. Does he?
Okay, he can do this.
Wait, no, he doesn't.
Oh, that's...
What's the gap between... I think he has a race win in his hands. It all depends if Monk can close up a bit more. Yeah, he does have the race win in his hands.
Oh my god, Monk has at least a podium right now and a P2. Looking at that gap, but my god, Monk just gave away the win right there in one turn.
It's Ritesh for the win. He just needs to keep it on track. He just needs to bring it on home as he's filtering through sector 1. Just keeping the car on track, maneuvering through these corners very, very gingerly. He doesn't want to lose this. But yeah, it's looking good for the Alpine.
Oh, and he hits the green sector as well. This is good news for the Alpine.
He's pushing it. He wants the fastest lap and a win as well. He's using all the battery left in the tank.
Oh wow, this is an amazing end to this race. I didn't imagine it ending so close. That 4 seconds for now, Monk. 4 seconds for Monk now. He's just losing pace there. He doesn't even have the DRS from anyone right now. He's got nothing left. Nor has Shrey, because Shrey could have fought for P1 here, but Shrey is just too far back from Ritesh at this stage. Ritesh just has to keep it clean for the last few corners. He can see the checkered flag. Can he keep it?
He's doing the wave. He's happy. I think he's got the win. It's looking good for him. Let's have a look as everyone crosses the line. Ritesh P2, AJ P3 on track. Monk moves up to P2. It's Ritesh who's kept the win by 1.784 seconds. It's the maiden win for the Alpine driver there.
Yeah, it just shows.
And Shrey with a maiden podium as well. A great race from these new drivers in IRC, and wow, what an action-packed race. Not the cleanest races I've ever seen, but yeah, wow, the action did overcome that. So yeah,
I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. Everyone was on their toes at the very end.
Montero with the fast lap push. Let's see what time he sets.
Yeah,
21.0. That's blazingly fast.
Again, he's got the soft tires on. I think Montero had the decision to make one extra point, or I think he was more interested in getting that extra point. I think maybe he's sort of thinking about the championship here, or his place within it. Again, that's a pretty fantastic race. Very, very entertaining. Like you said, not the cleanest, but again, I'd rather have a racing of some wheel-to-wheel action, some overtakes, rather than have a proper clean race. I think racing is what interests us at the end of the day. But yeah, it just went from bad to worse for AJ. He had P1 in his hands and went for a bit of a opportunistic move or a bit of a reckless move and lost it from that point onwards.
Yep. Wow. I'm breathless after that. That was some insane last few laps there. And yeah, we do have a winner, folks.
I think it also just says something about the new regulations, just keeping everything so tight and close
Oh,
to
yeah.
everyone.
The cars are hard to handle, but the racing is just so much more enjoyable to watch just because of that.
Definitely. One mistake can cost you everything, as we've seen so many times here for everyone involved. I mean, looking at the safety car, the last safety car we had, and if someone told me Ritesh is going to win, I'd say, you're smoking, mate. Because Ritesh ended up pitting for the hard at the wrong time, and yeah, I think after that, he just nailed every single corner, every single turn, made the least amount of mistakes, and just went for moves that were proper and that were on at the time.
So, yep, rounding off this race, we have a winner, maiden race winner Ritesh Singh in the Alpine. Great drive from P2. Certainly not as easy as the grade to win. See, P2 to P1 makes it out to be, but yeah, he had to battle for that. Monk in P2 and the McLaren bringing home their team some good points. Shrey with the maiden day podium as well. Great drive from the Ferrari driver. Sager, AJ, SWAT-Cat, Freeze, Montero, Abhi, Maverick round off the top 10. Just out of the top 10 are Mamu, Face Cracked, Duke, and Face Cracked, Duke, Swagger, Pirate are your DNFs for today. And Existence as well are your DNFs for today afternoon.
Yes, unfortunately for Existence, if Existence was still in this race, it would have been even more interesting because he would definitely be up there for that fight. So yeah, unfortunate for Existence.
Yeah.
Yes, and who do we have here?
Yes,
do we have our podium setters?
We'll have all our podium interviews one by one as we get everyone in. We're just waiting on a couple of more drivers. I'll just ping them. Tell them to join us.
हिंदी में पूछ लेना थोड़ा.
Who's P3? Shrey and okay, just waiting on the rest of the podium finishers before we get started. And yeah, we'll shortly join you back. Okay, I think we're still waiting on Monk. So we just start with P3. Yeah, Shrey, are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. First of all, congratulations. Great drive from you. Podium. I think your first podium in IRC, I'm not sure. Great drive in the Ferrari. And
I had a few podiums before in last season in 21. And in Tier-2, I was there. So there were no interviews and something like that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, congratulations on the podium. Talk us through your race, man, because you weren't near the top in qualifying, but then you fought your way back in the race. So, yeah, a very exciting one for us to watch. So, just talk us through what all happened.
I don't know. I was just first of all, I was very nervous. I was shaking, my hands were shaking. Last few laps, I was I couldn't control. I was shifting where it was not required. Something like that. I don't know. I was just I can catch the guys. I can catch. Just stay cool and calm. I was very frustrated that I got that 3-second penalty. But it turned out well. Nothing else.
Yeah, that's interesting. If your pace is that good when you're nervous, I wonder how good your pace could be when you're not nervous and you're so calm. So I think that just comes with experience, buddy. Once you start, going on more races, start by challenging a bit more, I think you'll be easily able to keep your nerves in control.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. A great drive from you, and I think you did make the best out of your strategy as well, which is something not everyone could manage, but yeah, you were spot on with it. So good stuff, and good overtakes as well. It was nice.
Yeah, I was really trying to overtake long and all, but
Yeah,
I couldn't do it.
yeah, you did pull through at the end, so it doesn't matter. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Good stuff. Heading on to P2, the only McLaren on the podium, sadly, after the other one got a bit hard done by some incidents around him. Monk, welcome back to the podium, and yeah, congratulations first, and yeah, talk us through your race. How was it?
Yeah, first of all, thanks a lot. So the race was going fine. Suddenly, I found myself on the podium positions, and I was with Anish. And AJ took him out. Then I started to lead the race. That was amazing feeling. Then I lost it at the end. My guys were giving up, and I was keeping Shrey behind, but suddenly Alpine popped up out of nowhere, and he was having good speed, so that's it.
Yeah, great race, good consistency, and good pace from you. You had some good defensive maneuvers and good moves as well.
Yeah,
which is
actually,
nice.
I had a wet setup. I misjudged the weather, and I had a wet setup, so I had no pace in the long straight, so I had to defend.
That makes sense, yeah. But yeah, congratulations. And Hafez, do you have any questions for the P2 and P3 positions?
I don't think I do. I think P2, I mean, you kept Shrey behind for so long on a wet setup. That is amazing. I mean, I know you were using your ERS, but still, like, Shrey had DRS for such a long time, and you still kept him behind for 6-7 laps. So, again, walk us through, like, how was those first few laps leading the race? You know, what was going through your mind at the time?
Yeah, so in IRC, it was my first time leading the race. So it was a wonderful feeling. I have been here for quite a long time. So I was quite nervous as well. Like, I had to be there with those worn out tires and with that setup. So I was on the edge all the time. So I was getting good exit on the last turn. Shrey was struggling there, that I saw. So I was making the most out of it and using my ERS. But with Ritesh, I think things were different, so I couldn't keep him behind. But still, I had a window of 3 seconds. He had a penalty, but I had a moment on a curb, and that did it.
Yeah. Regardless, an amazing show of pace from you, Monk. You should be extremely proud of that.
Yep, absolutely. Good race, and congrats on the P2. But now heading on to the man of the moment and a first time winner here in IRC, Ritesh, आपका podium में स्वागत है. कैसे था आपका रेस?
थैंक यू. काफी अच्छा, काफी डिफिकल्ट रेस था, बट बिल्कुल काफी अच्छा लग रहा है. पहला रेस जीत के और पहली बार पोडियम पे आके, बट बिकॉज सब वर्चुअल सेफ्टी कार आ गया था शुरुआती लैप्स में, तो जिसकी वजह से यहाँ टीटी में लगा था कि नहीं, ड्राइव थ्रू लगने के बाद नहीं लगा था कि नहीं पहुंच पाएंगे, बट अच्छा कम बैक था उसके बाद काफी.
हमें भी लगा था, बट आपने कम बैक तो कर लिया, तो वो स्ट्रीम में काफी अच्छा लगा देखने को. सो कंग्रेचुलेशंस रितेश, वेरी वेल.
थैंक यू मोटो.
यस. And Hafez, do you have any questions?
I think my main question was how did you got a drive-through, right? वो drive-through कैसे मिला आपको? मतलब क्या issue क्या था उस time पे? Were you focusing on your tires or sort of did you forget about the VSC?
नहीं, जब VSC एंडिंग हुआ था तो मेरा डेल्टा पॉजिटिव था, बट जैसे ही VSC एंडिंग लिख के आया तो डेफिनेटली मेरा पॉजिटिव, तो मैंने एक्सेलरेशन दिया कार को और फिनिश लाइन तक वो अपने आप ही उसने मेरे को मतलब नेगेटिव में चला गया, और जैसे ही मैंने लाइन क्रॉस किया तो उसके बाद उसने DD दे दिया मेरे को.
ओके.
तो वो मेरे को देखना पड़ा कि मेरा गलती था या कोई ग्लिच या
Yeah, but regardless, वो गलती के बाद भी if you get a win, it's a big thing, and yeah, again, amazing work, Ritesh, amazing.
Thank you.
And congratulations, Ritesh, and very well done. And hopefully we'll see you again up here next time.
Yeah.
Because up championship rival ho. Yes, season.
Yes.
Yes.
Ritesh for the win.
Yes,
Sorry.
Ritesh for the win indeed. I think everyone has been spamming that. Comments में आपको इतने लोग support किए ना आप. I think उसी वजह से ही जीते हो तो. Very well done, yeah.
Thank you, IRC
And-
guys. Thank you.
And yeah, that's it for today afternoon, folks. What an enthralling race. You know, it's been up and down, left and right, like a roller coaster. I don't know. Everything's happened. Everything hasn't happened. We had safety cars, DNFs, crashes, great racing, great moves, and finally we do come to an end, and we do have a top 3. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed that. As much as we both did. Haphazard has been great as well, to having the combox. We do tune in for tonight, 8:30 as well. We do go live for Tier 1, the fastest boys in IRC. Same track, same circuit, same rules, same assists, same everything. It's just going to be that much more interesting. So do tune in for that. Do follow us on our socials. And this is IRC signing out. Bye.